continue this next section down on this side is just getting set up. And I'm standing on the edge of my scaffolding here. Whew. Seems higher from the top. Just cut the tops of my board and battens off, pop the chalk line. That's always a real satisfying moment when you clean things up. And this shows how I notched board and batten. Made it really easy to position the rafters. Once I got it marked out and notched, they just had a nice little slot that held them square. And then on the other side, I was trying to figure out how to best anchor the 2x6s to my steel trusses, and just decided to cut a block the same width as they're separated on this end. I separated them on that end, and I actually screwed up through the truss and anchored that angled block, I guess, which gave me something to anchor to pretty simply with my rafters. So there's always been a debate. Like I've said before, I'm a civil engineer, structural civil engineer, and as we install these buildings, the footings and foundations that we design are required much more. We have to be a lot more assertive to hold the building down rather than to hold the building up. Apparently, as they run the models that dictate what loads we have to prepare for, the uplift loads from the wind are actually sometimes an order of magnitude greater than the forces of the weight of the building pressing down. It gives some people some uncertainty then about how to anchor things down. Where if you have to have a footing that's a 10 by 10, 3 feet deep, I mean that's a tremendous amount of weight just to hold the building down. But in reality, I have to wonder, with the 26 or 29 gauge metal and the fasteners that you actually attach that metal wall panel or metal roof panel to the structure, would it actually pick that up and pull that footing out of the ground? I don't think so. I think the fasteners would let go or it'd pull through. But anyway, that's why I felt comfortable. I drilled 4 holes through the truss and put 3.5 inch, I guess, framing screws in each of these 1, 2, 3 sections. And if the wind blows so hard that it pulls the top off this thing or picks this slab up and sets it over there, I guess I'll have a barn over there, and it, should have poured more concrete, I guess. Just some thoughts as I'm standing up here. One of the jobs I was really dreading was drilling these holes through this angle to attach my rafters to mainly because I'm about 18 feet up here in the air, and I don't want to fall off. You have to really put weight on the back. You're kind of leaned out over the edge of the scaffolding. I really didn't want to really don't want to fall off, so I came up with this idea, and it somewhat gives me the advantage, I guess, of a drill press. So I'm clipping this on the bottom side and adjust the height so that when my drill is correctly positioned, it's somewhat tight, and then I just start drilling slowly tighten this up. So works pretty good. I'll see if I can make it work for me. That's way easier. So, just like that. Now I can install my spacer block. That'll be pretty much ready for the next set of rafters going. So. So that's what I was talking about. Whenever you're working on something like this, it always seems like I guess if you are like me, I don't know if it's a laziness or just a drive to always be finding a better way to do it, or easier or simpler or quicker or cheaper, something, always improving methods. I have figured out that this drill press technique works really well. If you just lean it out, for instance, if you lean this out, that gives you enough room to kind of put the drill in sideways, and then as you bring it up, it really puts pressure on it, and you can drill the hole without a whole lot of adjusting. So I guess call it method improvement number one. I've already marked where my holes go. Put that there. And I don't even have to push on it, I'm just letting it go. Just tighten it up a little bit. No sweat. This sweat came from something else, not drilling holes. So I guess part of what I want to do as I make these videos is pay some homage to some very important men that have helped me. You know, my dad is over here with me. Me and my dad built this house. We worked every day after work, every weekend for 15 months. And, you know, he's always been, I mean, he's the reason that I can build. I went to Georgia Tech, which I feel like is a school that is just superior to other schools. It is a great school. But if I had to pick between what I learned there and what I've learned from my daddy, hands down, I would stay an apprentice. You can have the diploma. My dad has certainly taught me a tremendous amount. He has a methodical, continuous approach. He doesn't really get frazzled. He stays steady and works. And his daddy, my granddaddy, would be very proud of this drilling technique. He's the one that told me, don't let something that can't think outsmart you. And so that's kind of an attitude that I've tried to have. I guess, you know, just an old thought, and really glad that came to me as I build this. You know, he's passed away and gone, and I think about him a lot, and you know, sometimes things like that just come back, and special every time. I actually have on my property 220 something, 230 of these pine trees. For this project, I actually cut up 6. So to do all of the framing, all of the board and batten, all my joist, and enough framing for the rear end wall all came from 6 trees. So I certainly have an idea that I will be getting that bandsaw mill back, and I will be clearing out some more of these guys. Lots of pine trees and more pine trees.